Welcome, my dear students of class 8A and 8B, to my history and civics class. Today, I shall introduce you a new lesson, lesson number 2. Today, I shall introduce you a new lesson, lesson number 2. What's the name of this lesson? The name of this lesson is Industrial Revolution and Imperialism. Industrial Revolution and Imperialism. Lesson number 2, topic Industrial Revolution and Imperialism. And the points as I mentioned in the blackboard, please look at it. Here there are some points. First point, introduction. Second point, Industrial Revolution. Third point, role of Britain. Fourth, factors led to the growth of revolution in England. And last point, conditions of the artisans. As per the following points mentioned in the board, I am going to clarify it and today's topic. My dear students, the Industrial Revolution which took place in England, it was not a sudden incident in the history of the world. England was a place of geographical interests. There were many resources in England which gave a birth of a new era, the era of Industrial Revolution. Human beings have always lived within their societies. Human beings always lived within their communities. History tells us so. But these communities, these societies were normally not large, but human beings were able to fulfill their basic needs like food, shelter, and clothing. It has been practicing by human beings from the very, very beginning. They were dependent on others for their daily income, for their daily, needs. Very scarcely. They always depended on themselves. When the discovery of new lands brought an increase, everywhere there came many changes. There came changes in the field of trade. There came changes in the field of, education, in the field of literature, in the field of literary skills. Everywhere there came changes which changed the entire world. A new awakening was formed among them. It led to the emergence of a bigger towns and cities. People became educated. They shouldered many responsibilities. It encouraged them to lead a modern lifestyle. Their earnings also are increased. Naturally, their basic needs of food, shelter, and clothing. The problem for their basic needs, food, shelter, and clothing, is solved. And it is due to that reason, in order to meet their demands of the growing complex situation, the age of industries gradually began to fulfill the basic needs of the common people. Now it is called Industrial Revolution. It is called Industrial Revolution. Why is it called Industrial Revolution, my dear students? It is called Industrial Revolution because there came a new change in the entire system of industrial growth and development. Earlier, people had to depend on their manual works, but industrial revolution changed the entire system. That's why it is rightly said that the industrial revolution was the process of change from an agrarian society, from an agrarian economy to an economy dominated by industries and machines. People who had to depend on their small-scale industries, large-scale industries replaced it, opened a new door for them. The methods of manufacturing goods and the domestic system of production were replaced by the machines or factory system. Goods which were produced by human beings in their houses, the process of producing goods, the process of manufacturing goods was time consuming. That's why their earnings also were very less. But they led a happy life altogether because they kept on working in their houses happily from day to night and sometimes the whole night. These services gave them at least confidence. But during industrial era came, that group of people lost their jobs. They all became jobless people. Naturally, the conditions of the artisans, craftsmen became miserable. This process began in Britain in the 18th century and spread to other parts of the world. Now question is, why is it called industrial revolution? Revolution means fighting, revolution means protest, revolution means aggressive form of protest with a large section of people against injustice, against oppressive rule, against oppressive ruler. But here, this revolution is meant another thing. What is the meaning of it? Here, revolution came in the field of industry, means new changes came in the field of industry. The industry which was dominated by household, dominated by manually, this industry became industry dominated by machines. That's why this industry brought about a new era, brought about a new system of industrial growth and development throughout the whole world. It was England who was the first in the world to have witnessed such an historical incident. The Industrial Revolution took place first in England. And next point, my dear students, role of Britain. Britain from the very, very beginning was a place from where many natural resources were available. There was a good system of water. There was cheap mode of transport. Many rivers were there. Sea route also was there. It was good for trade and commerce. And it started doing it so. But the availability of coal, availability of natural resources aggravated the aspiration of England. As soon as a new era brought about and realized its dreams, England started occupying different countries of the world in order to make it their colonies. Why? Because England needed natural resources in order to supply it to their own country, England, because a number of machines were discovered by the scientists. As soon as during Industrial Revolution, the sea routes were discovered, many machines were invented, England started establishing herself as a strong nation throughout the world. England started making a number of colonies throughout Far East. It was our country, India, was made their colony. They utilized Indian natural resources, raw materials, in order to supply, in order to meet the growing demand of their factories and industries in England. That's why this act of promptness gave a birth of a new language, that was revolution in the field of industry. That's why it is known as Industrial Revolution. And the role of Britain was active. Britain actively participated in every sphere of life during Industrial Revolution, which also showed the pathway of growth and development in other parts of Europe and in other parts of the world. But that wave of revolution, that wave of development and growth came later, gradually. Now factors led to the growth of revolution in England. England was a country, as I told you earlier, England was famous for natural resources. That's why Industrial Revolution took place in England. England was politically stable country than other European countries. That's why the growth and development during industrial era in other countries of Europe was not as good as England had done. England got it done because of its political stability. England got it done because of the system of constitutional monarchy. England had been waiting for the prolonged period of peace. The use of a common currency, the pound, sterling, the monopoly gave them monopoliness in trade and commerce. England occupied the large market of India by making it their colony. That's why there came a new revolution in the field of agriculture throughout not only England but throughout the whole world, throughout our country, India also. England got it done. Federal Europe, under the feudal lords, lands were used, but during industrial age, people gradually became educated. They ignored the wrong notions, they rejected the superstitions, they accepted all the things depended on arguments and scientific explanations. Because of Renaissance, a new age Renaissance encouraged the people to be educated, as I taught you earlier. And this act of, this act of work, encourage the people of the world. The people of the world not only were inspired by the ideals of Britain, the industrial policy of Britain, but also followed the pathway of England, so that they must become a part of a new era, the Industrial Revolution, which took place in England. You know, my dear students, the conditions of the artisans. The conditions of the artisans during industrial age, lower class people, middle class people faced a very miserable condition. As I told you earlier, that before industrial age, they had to work from day to night, and that work helped them nothing but mental satisfaction. They were able to fulfill the need and expectation of their family members. The minimum amount of money they earned during that period, because a very less number of competitors there to compete against each other. A very less number of people got themselves involved in that handicraft industries. But that very small scale industries, handicraft industries, were broken, were destroyed by the large scale industries. Large scale industry occupied a strong place instead of handicraft industry or small scale industry. Naturally, the people who were involved in small scale industry, the people who were earning a minimum amount of money from their handicraft industry, from their small scale industries, now they all became jobless people. They needed income, but they could not compete with the machine-made goods, because the goods, whatever they produce from the factory, from their own factories, it took time to produce. These were not produced bulk in quantities, but from machines. A large quantities of production from machines flooded the large market of the world, especially our country, India, because the machine-made goods had huge demand in our country, India. On the contrary, the raw materials of India, the silk of India and other things which were produced by some people, some artisans, it had also great demand in England. In order to stop the growing demand from India, England started controlling the entire market. They themselves started producing silk and silk products. They started capturing peasants and farmers, forced them to cultivate indigo, because Indian indigo had great demand in England. During the Industrial Revolution, a number of cotton industries also were established in different cities of England, like Lancashire, Yorkshire. These were the cities of England where a number of, industries established, from where clothes were produced, made of cotton goods were produced. That's why they had to depend on Indian indigo. Supplying of Indian indigo gave them a good turn. A group of people who wanted to earn a lot of money, they started supplying Indian indigo for their motherland and started earning a lot of money by making the innocent and illiterate peasants and farmers fool. They forced them. That's why they always scared of their British masters. They were forced to cultivate indigo but not other crops which are favorable to them. Only because of the reason, my dear students, the miserable condition of the Indians brought a new change. During later period, after industrial revolution, a number of Indian educationists, social reformers, they brought it to the notice of British Parliament and its members regarding the miserable conditions of Indians. Naturally, the British government later passed some laws which changed the previous system and gave them temporary peace. Up to this, my dear students, thank you.